Hey guys on YouTube. So tonight I've got for you the Paykel CleanSmart 8 kilo top loader. It has the low profile agitator with the eco-active wash system. I'm not sure whether they make this style of Fisher and Paykel anymore. I think they might just do agitator, full-size agitator versions now. But anyway, this is sort of the latest style of this machine. You saw a quick mix-up video of the one that I was using previously. So, there's a few changes, like the bowl design has changed to this really smooth design instead of the sort of ridged design, which was very typical of Fisher and Paykel for a long time there for their top loaders. We've got an upgraded spin. It's now got an 1100 RPM spin cycle instead of the traditional 1000, which was what Fishy had for a lot of years. I like how this gives you the option to select the actual spin speed in RPMs, not just fast, medium and slow. That's kind of quirky, which I like. This style of machine also has the dual wash and stain treatment wash boost options, which very quickly means that you've got this option, you've got this compartment here, which is for liquid stain treatments. If you use the dual wash option, you put it's basically the pre-wash, it's like a two-stage wash basically. So you put powder detergent in here or liquid, whatever, for the first wash, and then you put wash liquid in here for the second stage of the wash. And if you do the stain treatment option, it basically just flushes from this dispenser at a certain time in the wash to add that stain treatment in. Your fabric softener dispenser is on this side. Pretty neat. Flushes away very well. It's got a really good system of dissolving. It's because I'm reading that there that I've said dissolve. Flushing out the softener. Anyway, I won't talk forever and ever. It's got the high efficiency wash option, which is basically a very low level wash, and it uses the eco-active jet. The eco-active jet comes out from up here. The eco-active wash system is a two-stage wash system. It basically wants to emulate the action of a front loader. So for the first eco-active phase of the wash, it fills with your selected wash temperature, hot, warm or cold, or anywhere in between. It fills that, it takes the detergent. It then uses the eco-active jet, which comes out here as a concentrated detergent spray to flush over the clothes as this bowl is turning, to give them a really concentrated hot or warm or cold blast of that detergent. So it's really getting in there. It's a good jet. It's not like weak or anything. It's got a pretty good angle on it, so it really does hit the clothes if you load it properly. That's one thing with these machines, is that you really do benefit if you load around the agitator and leave the agitator as free as possible, not just lumping it all on top. Otherwise that jet will just hit the top of the clothes and not really penetrate through. So the second phase of that eco-active wash is where it tops off the water with cold, so it cools down the wash water, tops off with cold, and then it does the rest of the wash with that. Some people think it might not work as well, but it actually works pretty well. Or you can have high efficiency off, and it will fill to a conventional level, still with cold, unless you select either sheets or allergy, in which case it fills with the traditional hot or warm, whatever you've selected. It'll fill that way all the way. The other cycles will top off with cold, and then the conventional wash just does that, the regular deep wash style. Anyway, enough of me rambling along. I've got a decent load of sort of pajamas, tracksuit bottoms tonight. I'm going to run that on the heavy cycle for you. I will get this loaded and I will come back. Right, we're back, got it loaded. As you can see, I've loaded it in the way that they recommend in the manual. I've flung things around the side of the agitator, kept that agitator as free as possible. That way the EcoActive jet will hit as many of those items as possible. Today I'm going to use Tide Mountain Spring powder detergent. It really is one of my favorite powder detergents. I love the fragrance, I love the old school fragrance to it, the old school scoop. Love everything about it. So I'll keep buying this until I'm old and grey, or until they stop making it, which I've got a fear will be soon, just with the way that the world's going in terms of moving more towards capsules and pods and liquids, but there you go. So using that today. I'm also using a commercial softener that I bought called Mother's Touch by a company called XO2. Smells really nice, complements this really well. It's got a very similar scent profile. But yeah, so we're going to load those in, but I'll get everything sort of set up here first. So, add some detergent and add our softener. And for our cycle, we're going to use heavy. We're going to turn high efficiency off because I prefer the other way of it doing it. We're going to leave it on warm, normal soil, 1100 RPM spin. We just have to add the softener option so that it'll do that deeper rinse. And away we go. What I will say, and I'll tell you when it's going. So this is just an initial saturation, and it'll take this soap. It does have an automatic temperature control built in, so it will try and reach a certain temperature for the warm wash. Apparently my hot water isn't quite hot enough, so it's filling purely through hot at the minute. It'll start to add some cold. Oh, there we go. Taking the detergent. There we go, it's using a true warm now, mix of cold and hot. Man, that detergent smells so good. So you can see the jet is really nice and wide, like it stretches all the way across there, so it really is, giving good coverage. the jets in the older models were more sort of direct. It hit sort of only one spot of the washing. They were still good, but this one just seemed to have way better coverage than the other ones. So this is what's supposed to be emulating the action of a front loader by spraying that high concentrate soap over the clothes. Does this phase for quite a while, which is good. That's the lid locking, and now it does a sensing spin. It'll now top off and start sensing the water level with cold water. So you'll notice that the drum in a minute will start doing little jerks, and that's the machine just trying to work out. There you go. See? That's just the machine as part of its sensing phase. It's just trying to get an idea for the weight and the for the weight of the load, really. The initial part of the agitation is quite slow. Because that's, again, just trying to figure out the resistance, the weight of the clothes, and then it'll kick off into what it deems is the best action based on the heavy cycle for the load. Good buddy. Good boy. So it's stopped doing that jerking now, so it's figured out. It's made a decision, basically. Excuse the chopstick. It's the only way I can really defeat the lid switch. The lid lock, I could take that off and secure it in there, but I don't really want to. My chopstick works pretty well. a little bit more ecoactive jet. So now we're in the slower phase of the agitation. Just trying to figure it out. I think the machine has about 10 or more agitation profiles built into the software that it can choose from based on the load size and the fabrics. There we go. So now we've kicked off into the heavy action. You'll see the clothes start to bloom from the middle to the outer edge and then back down again. It will in a minute start topping off though to the conventional water level. There we go. It does slightly adjust the agitation here and there if it feels a bit more resistance on the agitator, just to be able to move things better through the water. That's moving them nicely through the wash water. It's moving them. See, we've gone on to longer stroke agitation now, so it's felt that there's some, it felt that it needed a bit more welly. I suppose what you're looking for in good agitation is that the clothes are actually moving. And these things are moving. Moving through the wash water, things are moving from the center to the edge, they're going under, they're coming back. Pretty good. Good cycle times as well, not too extreme. The longest cycle, I think, if you include a soak, is like an hour and a half. I will do more cycles in this machine and film it, because a lot of the cycles are quite unique. And this isn't going anywhere too soon. I'm actually really enjoying using this as a daily driver, so definitely we'll be filming more of it. Okay, I will come back when it begins its rinsing process. Now it's just flushing through the wash boost bit at the end of the wash before it drains. So the rinsing procedure for this is a spray rinse followed by a traditional deep rinse. I haven't counted how many times it actually does the spray, but it basically sprays, spins until it moves on to the deep rinse phase. Sorry. I'll come back when it's ready. Go up. just the initial spin out phase. I'll actually count while I'm filming this so that I know how many it does. I like the way that the fill jets are designed in this. It's done in sort of a staggered format with one sort of randomly spraying off here just to get complete coverage over the load as it's spraying. It's very effective. Now entering the deep rinse phase, so 2 spray rinses, not bad. Just flushing out that softener bit, it's really good how it does it. Just some softeners leave a residue around this lip which would build up if people didn't keep on top of it. I mean, obviously I'm going to take it out and clean it, but some people wouldn't, and it might go black and then they might wonder why. See, it does multiple flushes, so it really makes sure it gets as much of it out as it possibly can, which is pretty good. There we go. Now we're going to top off for the rinse, and I will come back when it's full. So now we're just doing the agitator to fill, finishing topping off for the rinse. drain for final spin. It does go through a few phases before it starts to rev up for the final 1100 RPM just to save the pump. But here we go. Still climbing, by the way. We're about there now, 1100 RPM. for a long time. It's been sat on 1 minute for about 3 minutes. Just clean my dispenser while I'm here. That's where the water comes in. See, it's still going. It's been sat on 1 minute for ages. There we go. The end. Thanks very much, guys. Hope you enjoyed, and I'll see you next time.